Hey guys, I thought I'd just hop back in real quick. I've been letting it run for a little bit of time, and we're building back our population. But I thought this is an interesting death to show you. So, the third most dangerous job in the game. Sorry for hitting the desk there. Emphasis, right? After mining and quarrying is actually hunting because they can get trampled by a wild boar, and that happens fairly frequently. But it's like, yeesh, what a awkward way to go. It's like, yeah, killed by a pig. So I thought I'd show you that. We're moving along. It's just kind of a slow process. Like, we're really backlogged on just the amount of materials that we needed to build all these little house expansions. But we're chugging along, and eventually, like, we'll get we'll get more miners going. We actually, the quarry is built. It's just not, no one's in there, and I'll be sure to add folks in soonish. I'm waiting for the population to crank up. I end up assigning folks working on forestry to get our lumber supply up, especially since we have all these like homes that are chewing. Well, they were chewing into the demand for logs. So because I took care of that, there's the firewood situation. Still, it's at that point where essentially these guys, they get the cold emblem, but then they get a little bit of firewood coming in, so it's almost at the equilibrium state. So what I'm hoping is eventually some of these kids will start to grow up, we'll get more laborers, and once we get more laborers, and once we finish actually like dumping logs in these houses, then all the log production will go back towards firewood, and we'll get more. We'll sort that situation out. But I thought I'd just take a little bit of time to point out, like, just a little bit of the progress we've made and that interesting death notification. So yeah, our I believe our cemetery is it's nearly full. So I'd like to build another one, but right now, with our stone and iron the way they are, and our labor pool being so low, I'm just going to have to sit tight. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and we'll continue to let it run, and I'll come back essentially once we start to rebuild our labor pool. So, otherwise, I mean, we're not hurting for food at all. I feel like actually our log intake is pretty solid. It's more the fact that like we maybe could use another woodcutter. And in fact, what I'm thinking about, let's go ahead and queue that guy up. Like another woodcutter wouldn't hurt, and honestly, maybe another blacksmith. We've been going down on tools, but again, we need laborers in the mines to pull in some iron. So yeah, it's kind of a balancing act here, but I'm keeping an eye on it, and I mean it's going down, but slowly. So I'm hoping that our labor pool will build up, and we'll be able to, because like I said, once you get about 50 adults is when you need your second blacksmith. We're approaching that. We're not quite there, but we're approaching it. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna let it run for longer, and then we'll come back once I start to get, like, once these buildings are complete, like all this kind of, we basically have a backlog going on, and it's hurting production a little bit because paving is a problem on these outposts, and we just don't have enough resources and enough manpower to get that built. And I'd also like to start assigning people to the quarry and to the mine, but that's it's going to take time to build up our population to the point where that can happen. So in the meantime, I'm just going to kind of, and our little cemetery is going to fill up, but if it fills up, it fills up. Anyway, it's just kind of slow, steady build up towards a larger town. So I'll come back once that's accomplished. All right, guys. God, another fire started. Yeah. I really hope they get this one sooner rather than later. I, I it's kind of bizarre actually that well, that's interesting. It looks like they dumped the food out of the house and put it on the side, so you don't lose the food if there's room to dump it, maybe. I'm not quite sure exactly how that goes down, but yeah, I'm a little frustrated how many disasters we've had. It's not like I'm going to turn off disasters, but I mean, this is like the second major fire that we've had. That look, there goes all the homes, and that sucks. God, I'm not honestly. I need to look up like how to deal with fires because this is getting kind. It's just, it started in the same building too. Whoever lives here, total idiot, total buffoon. But I think we're gonna lose most of the town again, which is very frustrating. Just it's almost like our Warlock 2 playthrough where just they constantly throw us with random horrible disasters. I don't know. The dice have not been kind. You know, hopefully they put the fire out before it spreads everywhere, but yeah, it's gonna be gnarly. We've already lost some key buildings, so I don't really get how you handle that, to be honest. So I mean, maybe having wells around reduces the risk. I'm not sure. What I should honestly do is put maybe a well, since this is all clustered together like that. Like having a well here would save a little bit of walking back and forth, and ultimately that might spare some of these buildings, but I don't know. And it does look like I was correct about the stone houses being slightly resistant. They can catch on fire, but they resist fire a bit. So having more stone houses and wood, especially if they're tightly packed like this, and it could just be the fact that I'm building too many houses within like one area. If they weren't all if they weren't all cluttered together like that, obviously they eventually went up. But they took a while to go up, so yeah, I don't know. It's maybe a couple more roads kind of cutting in between here and there. I'm just like, I'm kind of surprised it's been such a problem. Like normally, I don't struggle this much with disasters. Oh, yeah, just lost everything in the storage barn as well. We might even lose our fishing. We might lose the whole town again. I'd be really depressed if it spread to the market, though. That was a very expensive building, and it's not one we can easily afford to replace right now, especially with 0 stone. I've been kind of waiting on our population to grow, but with the lack of housing, it's gonna be a real trouble. Oh dear. Yeah, it looks like we're losing most of everything. That's a real shame. I swear. I mean, honestly, like this is the first game I've had where fires have actually been a real problem. Like, and like I said, I played like quite a bit of Banished, and normally I see a fire, it gets put out almost immediately. I don't even care about it, but this time it's been just decimating. By the way, if you're wondering what the word decimate means, it's a punishment that the Roman legions would do for deserters. Essentially, they would round up the entire legion, and well, let's say a legion deserted, and you had to punish them. Well, they would essentially go and give, I believe it was every 10th man in the legion would be given a weapon and told to kill everybody else in the legion. So Deci 10, Mate means like to kill or destroy. So it's like every 10th person goes out and gets killed. So yeah, it was like a brutal thing too. It's like basically they were given the choice. You broke our laws. You were traitorous. So the punishment is you have to kill your own men or you can all die. So it's almost like a Sophie's Choice situation. So if you were wondering about the term decimate, now you know. Annihilate is it means to essentially kill so much that they no longer exist. Ani is like, I believe it means in Latin kind of like null or negative, and then it goes not annihilate is like, again, that it means kind of the same thing. And there's a lot. The Romans came up with quite a few words for killing things off. Exterminate was another one. Yeah, they. I don't know. They were kind of brutal people, but all Western culture comes from it. So, empires. The empires are kind of like a two-edged sword. Yes, they do tend to expand and they do tend to go and cause wars, but they also encourage law and order. Oh man, this is just gonna set us back all over again. It's like hitting the reset button. Well, yeah, I'm just going to order every building to be rebuilt and have to wait it out. Now, what I'm worried about is our tool supply is kind of lowish, and we just lost our only blacksmith, and it's going to take a while to rebuild it. So we might be seeing a little bit of a crisis here with our tools. I'm wondering if there's like maybe something I can do to speed up. Like, we do have a ton of food. We almost don't need the Gatherer's Hut right now. I might kind of tell these guys to not work in this area. I'm hoping that doesn't cut into our food a whole lot, but by doing that, my hope is I'll essentially have the equivalent of a lot more laborers, and they can go out and finish clearing this stuff out. So I'm just going to crank it up and let them go at it. But yeah, so empires, right? Yeah, and it looks like now we have a ton of people. Kind of, that should get this collection going much faster, and that'll end up helping a lot more. Oh, a thing I noticed. Let me just, yeah. A little thing I noticed is kind of handy. So you see how I put this little kind of road in here? The gatherers use it while they're out. They use it to like reach further gathering points and come back in. It actually really boosted the production. So I'm thinking from now on, I'm going to put like kind of little catty corners and just have extra little roads that they can follow. Kind of just, I don't want too many because too many would end up kind of cutting into the amount of total forest and stuff, but maybe one or two just to help the little gatherers get out and gather faster. So I expect our food supply might dip a bit because I took everyone off of gathering, but this seems to be working out. This seems to be they're getting out there and they're actually gathering up the resources and rebuilding. So that's good, and we need to rebuild because we're not having enough young. We actually have a bunch of old age deaths, and yeah, our graveyard's filled up. Not much I can do about it at this point. I don't have the resources I need to handle that. It looks like I missed that little bit of stone. Let's get it. Yeah. And I did order this, but it's like I ordered it, but much later. So we're gonna just wait on these guys to get out there and scoop all this up, and they'll get the rest. So, and yeah, I knew it was going to dip into our food supply, but at the same time, we have so much saved up. It's worth doing that. So, let's see, we can probably remove that storage. Let's do it. We'll remove that and maybe put another tiny one kind of closer to here, so they're not walking all the way that way. Like maybe, well, really tiny one, but maybe fit another like 3x2 or whatever, 2x2. Sure, that'll work. And yeah, that's gonna set back our stone pretty badly, but fortunately some of these houses are getting rebuilt, and Oh, a childbirth death. That's a shame. Um, and I think if we let it go for a little while, just while we're rebuilding, then essentially, like, it'll be okay. Since we do have a ton of food, so. And actually, it looks like they're building some houses over here as well, which is good because we'll get a few more builders going, like 5. That way they can build out all these homes. And once these are in, that should fix any of the paving situation that we've been dealing with. So that's a good thing. And I expect once the houses are actually completed and all harvested up, then we'll have a little bit of population boom. Possibly add in another forestry node out here, actually. In fact, I will do that if we have enough stone. I think this is going to use up like most of the stone I've queued them up to collect, though, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, they're cleaning everything up, but... Oh, the other thing is because we're going to have less fishing going on, too. So, yeah, it will definitely dip into our food reserves, but... we have so many... Like, we have so much food right now. I think that'll be okay. It'll definitely, like, get chewed into. It's going to get chewed up, basically, like, as they build these homes and restock them. But, like... Let's see, so we do have a woodcutter going, that's good. Let's see, what else do we... And we'll also kind of fall behind on any kind of firewood we're gonna fall behind on too, so it's gonna be a catch up, but okay, it looks like they're getting this last little bit up here. Let's queue up even some more collection. If we haven't already. Looks like we already have. Okay, a little more stone that we can grab there. Good. And we're gonna need more. I guess this is our best option. That's still kind of far, but like up here and up here. Our iron's pretty high, so let's just focus on stone for now. Just attempting to rebuild. Have we gotten yeah, we got everything down here. I knew we would eventually, so. Okay, we're still doing pretty well on our food, so I'm gonna leave, just leave everybody, I need a ton of extra labor so they can go out and actually collect this stuff and get moving on it, so. Yeah, slowly but surely, though, we're getting to the point that we're going to need to consider, this should be nice, and we might have more kids being born as people move in, so. I kind of want to upgrade some of these, but we'll hold off on the upgrades. We just need to rebuild at this point. The tools need to get, let's prioritize that. Because that's our only blacksmith, so we desperately need that. And honestly, let's prioritize this as well. I'd like to get people back into the fishing. Because these fishing, if you look at it, they've been really productive, so let's encourage that.